Hello everybody and welcome back down into the basement dungeon gardens. Today is video number 29. 29! I didn't think I was going to make it through this 30 and 30, but I'll come up with something for tomorrow by hell or high water. I tell you what, I can't believe that I'm finishing this off. But today, you know, again, there's not a whole lot that's changed. I've done a little pruning, things like that, but I figured we'd take a quick look around at, you know, what's going on down here in the garden, maybe take a peek at the fish. Yeah, let's look at what's going on the table behind me. The space looks suspiciously clean and kind of organized. Because I was through here this morning, and I did get rid of the other Reaper, and you'll notice that the MA Wartrix is no longer on the table. Neither is the Devil's Heart Pepper. And yeah, I have rearranged things so that the herbs are kind of with each other. The sage was doing much better under this light, so I brought it back over here. The rosemary desperately needed a watering. This oregano is blowing me away with how well it's doing. Same with this mint. Living herbs from the grocery store. Good investment if you plan on replanting them, because look at this thing. But you know what's cool? So look at this thing. This is that matchbox pepper I showed the other day. There might even be a couple of flowers starting to form in there. So that is excellent. I want to say a big thank you for the suggestion to go at these aphids with a paintbrush. I'll grab that and show you here in a second. As you can see, I didn't get all of the aphids today, but when I'm taking them over the fish tank now, I'm taking this, just a little paintbrush, and knocking them about that way, getting in a little further into the heart of the plant, and knocking off significantly more aphids with each flick than I was doing with just my fingers. So that has turned out to be an absolutely brilliant suggestion, and I'm going to carry on with that, at least with the seedlings. And I did try it over on those larger plants. One second. Yeah, so I did try it on these larger plants here, and I think it kind of helped. I mean, at least the hairs of the paintbrush can get in there a little better than my fingers can, and can knock a few more things loose. But here is the MA Wartrix after its trim. That mint is going to be taller than that pepper plant soon. It's doing, I think it's doing okay. I mean, if we look right at the top of those branches where I cut it, that does appear to be a little bit of new growth. So I'm really hopeful. And I moved it under this, the smaller of the LED lights, actually, because these plants do seem to be coming back. The El Oro de Ecuador is coming back. This yellow scorpion seems like it's trying to come back. So I also brought the Devil's Heart over here to under this light. And I'm hopeful, but with this one, I'm not holding my breath with that one. But yeah, I just kind of go blindly into these things anyway, so we're just going to see what comes of it all. Very excited about the El Oro de Ecuador, though. It's close enough that I can just kind of flick it into the fish tank. And yeah, that's lots of new growth. This thing was super productive for me last year, so yeah, another year's production out of it would be fabulous. Absolutely fabulous. Over here on the table where all the garden seems to begin, there's still nothing popping up in any of these various tomato plantings yet, but I'm not terribly surprised. It really hasn't been very long at all. These leeks are doing an amazing job of popping up, though. As Trollforge mentioned, one styrofoam cup seems to have sprung a leak. Look at these shard seeds. Okay, from 2013, and not exactly expertly or lovingly saved, but there are a lot of them popping up in there. Sorry, my camera just kind of wobbled off to the side there. There are an awful lot of them popping up in there, though. Definitely going to be a nice red shard from the look of it. So, yeah, cool. Got a few pepper plants along the back there because I've been making space here, and I was making a little space on the shelf there. Which is how we got that collection over yonder. There are a couple things that have started to sprout here in the mini greenhouse dome. But, yeah, only the same two as the other day, so not much point in taking a deeper look at that. These green onions seem to be doing alright. These are just kind of sitting in one of those styrofoam noodle cups. with water from the hydroponic garden and just plunked them in there. They were pretty limp by the time I got around to saving them, but we got some decent strength to their structure now. Excellent. Excellent. Might put these into the actual hydroponic garden itself. I just haven't decided, so they're just kind of sitting in that cup for now, but this catmint isn't really doing anything in particular. It's just kind of taking up space, using up some of the nutrients for me. This elderberry bush really needs a new home, but I don't know. It's so pampered at this point. I kind of don't want to put it outside. That basil that I put in here ages ago, really not doing much. But I don't imagine there's a lot of nitrogen left in the water in this hydroponic garden. One of you did suggest that maybe what was going on with the ahi pennick there was a potassium deficiency. So I did mix up some of the Flora Grow into the water. It's a 216, so NPK, right? So K is potassium, so that's heavy on the potassium. I have no idea if I put enough in there to actually satisfy the needs of this garden, but I know I put enough in there that there's now at least some. So I'm probably going to need to top that up. I really should just bite the bullet, drain this thing out, and make a complete new batch of water, but I just can't bring myself to do that, which is why the hydroponics isn't working so great for me. I mean, the aquaponics will be fine. Eventually they'll get lots of nutrients from our little hard-working feeder fish down there, who I haven't fed yet today, other than some aphids this morning, so I should probably take care of that. But yeah, eventually they'll get big enough, they'll produce enough waste that they'll be able to power this garden from the water that comes out in their water changes and stuff, because I do try and take out probably a gallon or two a day that either gets watered directly into the plants, that poor coffee tree back there, or it gets dumped into the garden here. And then when I water out for the afternoon, because some things will dry out in the afternoon that weren't dry in the morning, I'll take the water from here and run around with my little candy eyedropper and water things up. And it seems to be working. And as silly as it is, it's not even on this table right now, but as silly as it is, that little candy eyedropper, that by the way does not work for candy, has been absolutely fabulous for making sure I don't over water my pepper plants. I knew I had one of these suckers down here somewhere. I actually did try and use this to make candy. The last time I made some cinnamon candy actually quite recently, and it bent this thing up pretty fierce, and I have to say the little silicone bulb at the top got stupidly hot. But see if we can find it under the light here, and or if my camera will pick it up. This has measurements from 1 to 5 mil on the side of it that don't seem to be coming up in the viewfinder. I can only hope they show up better on the monitor. But I've been using this, I've got two of them actually, to measure out the general hydroponics nutrients that I have and mix it into the water. And I've also been using this to basically give each plant a whopping 5 mils of water each time around. And therefore the topsoil hasn't been incredibly moist. This may be helping with the aphid situation, because I've heard over the years you don't want the topsoil to be moist. Bottom water, bottom water. We've all heard that mantra. And I've drowned a lot of plants in the past, really, to be perfectly honest with you. Looking at some of my past videos, overwatering has definitely killed a lot of my plant starts over the years. So I'm trying really, really hard not to kill them that way this year. You know, if they die from something different, great. At least it's some variation in the theme, but not from overwatering anymore. I'm getting really, really sick of that. You get that stem rot where all of a sudden they're doing fine and then they just flop completely over, and who needs that? It's disappointing. It's truly disappointing. Anywho, yeah, there's really not much going on here today. This has been video 29. Video number 30, I'm not quite sure what I'm going to do for tomorrow, but like I said, come hell or high water, I'm doing something. So, yeah, thank you guys so much for your support throughout this 30 and 30 challenge. There have been quite a few of you that have suggested you'd like to see me carry on with it. I will give it a try, but there are obviously some complications in that. It's nice to have a day off once in a while. Even if it is just from making 5, 10, 15-minute long videos, really all depends on how long the bear babbles for, doesn't it? But, yeah, you know, and I do need to do actual work, internet installs and things like that. Still hasn't been a lot of it this last month, so it made it a lot easier to do this 30 and 30, but supposedly, coming up, we have a new community that we've just got access points out to, so in theory, there should be some work coming up, which would be nice. I'd like to pay the bills. It'd be a nice change. Anywho, yeah, I'm going to wrap this up and tell y'all that it has been a blast, and I really, really appreciate it, and I will see you tomorrow for the final in this 30 and 30, and then we're just going to have to see where it goes. All right, everybody, have a great Friday. Oh, yeah. The hot pepper or hot chocolate challenge for Todd is officially wrapping up tonight, apparently. So you might want to stop by, check out Rev Toast's live broadcast for this evening. Hang out with Rob and Charles and Kyle and, well, everybody. You know, Dave might even be there. I don't know. There's an awful lot of Pray for Dave going on, but he might be there. He's been gone for a while, so he's probably getting tired of the hashtags on his videos. Pray for Dave. Pray for Dave.